Welcome to the news end of the show. Now, police in Tema have taken into custody the driver of a tipper truck that crashed into a toll booth at the Tema end of the Accra-Tema motorway on Monday. A cleaner with a company managing the toll booth was confirmed dead at the Tema General Hospital, where he and 6 others were being treated for their injuries, one of them quite critical. Preliminary investigations indicate the driver of the truck was dozing behind the wheel. Kwesi Parker-Wilson has more.
The truck, which was heading to Accra from Michelle Camp, crashed into the toll booth around 6:30 a.m., injuring about 7 people who were at the scene. The deceased, Isaac Kojokumsin, who is said to have a hearing impairment, was sweeping the vicinity at the time and was oblivious to the shout from bystanders for him to flee as the truck approached. The truck ran over his 2 legs and the left hand. A stolen vehicle that had stopped at one of the booths was struck in the process and the toll booth destroyed. An eyewitness said he saw the driver asleep behind the wheel. The toll booth attendant could be seen wailing. The injured, including a pregnant woman, were rushed to the Tema Regional Hospital, where the health director, Dr. Richard Anthony, confirmed the death of the cleaner, despite strenuous efforts to save him.
The latest update is that the male that had multiple crash injuries passed away some few minutes ago. In fact, when you asked me earlier on about the chances, I said 50-50.
That's correct.
And he had a lot of bleeding. In fact, he went into shock. We did all we could to resuscitate, giving him blood to replace the lost blood that he had. In fact, he bled a lot. In fact, if you look at the injury, most people will not be able to look at it. It was a crash injury. 2 limbs gone. 1 upper limb almost gone. The other 6 are stable. 1 is also not in too good a state. However, we believe that most of them will pull through.
A government delegation led by Roads Minister Kwesi Mokata visited the scene and subsequently the victims in the hospital. He promised government will bear the cost of treatment for the victims and also review safety protocols at toll booths to ensure maximum protection for the attendants.
Well, it's terrible. I don't know whether you have been to the accident scene. It's a terrible situation. This is something nobody expected, nobody contemplated. As accidents occur, when people are not aware. Perhaps that's why we call them accidents. It's so unfortunate, it's so regrettable. We have lost one of the collectors. Yes.
Right. Yeah. You said that you are taking care of them. Is that
yes, of course, yes.
Putting their bills?
Yes, no, they are working for us and working for government of Ghana, and unfortunately, they have been involved in this accident. Yes, government, is prepared to take care of their bills.
Tema Region MTTD Commander Chief Superintendent William Asante has ruled out brake failure as a cause of the accident. He tells JoyNews the driver of the truck with registration number GG 354220 will be charged with careless and inconsiderate driving.
Now the driver involved, the tipper truck driver, is in our custody. He did not sustain any serious injury, so he's now in our custody. We are going to caution him, then invite the testing officers to also test the vehicle to know the cause of the accident. Our layman's view tells me that there was no brake failure.
There was no brake failure?
No brake failure.
How do you conclude on that, since you've not done any investigation?
At what distance did he discover that the brakes are not working? I've interrogated him myself. Where he wanted to pass, there was a car parked there. So he decided to go to where this thing was empty. Then the saloon car also happens to be ahead of him. So from where he was and where the saloon car was, it was a short distance. So he couldn't save the situation, but rather driving into the saloon car. That was what happened. It wasn't any brake failure. If careless and inconsiderate driving.
Careless and inconsiderate.
Yes.
Would that be the charge against him?
Yes. And now that one has passed on, we are going to add another charges. Which is now is fatal accident.
Now, in a rather sad twist, the body of a 2-year-old girl has been found in a drain 3 days after she went missing at New Estate in the Obuasi municipality of the Ashanti region. The family suspects foul play after she was found without the tongue and has asked the police to thoroughly investigate the matter. Nana Yaujima has more in the following report.
The body of the toddler was found in a drain on the outskirts of the town. According to eyewitnesses, the body looked fresh, suspecting she might have been murdered the very day she was found.
After examining the body, I noticed the tank was cut, but the body itself had no cuts. Since she was in the drain, some suspected she was carried by flood water. But from the body, I don't agree.
Apart from the tank, on Wednesday, 7th July, the 2-year-old played with friends in the neighborhood as her mother went to the mosque for the evening prayer. According to the family, her mother could not locate her upon return. Efforts by a search party to find her were unfruitful. Father Abdul Karim is suspecting foul play in the demise of the child.
We were called to come identify a child's body in the drain. It was her. It looked like the person dumped her, suspecting the rain, which was about falling, will carry the body. It can't be that the flood water carried her away, because it hasn't rained since she went missing. It only drizzled today. The person deliberately dumped the body in the drain, hoping she's carried away by the water.
Police have since deposited the body at the morgue as investigations are underway. Nana Yaujima reporting.
Now, teachers and some public sector workers in the Sena East district of the Bono East region have declared an indefinite strike action over growing insecurity in the district. The workers cited the killing of 2 teachers and other robbery attacks on nurses and other workers in the area to back their decision to withdraw their services. Anas Sabit was in the area and came through with the following report.
Teachers and workers in the Sena East district of the Bono East region are withdrawing their services following recent incessant armed robbery attacks in the area. First, the headmaster of the Bantama Junior High School was shot and killed in May this year. Then on Wednesday, July 7th, a young teacher was also shot and killed in a robbery attack between Kwame Danso and Kejeji. Spokesperson of the teacher unions, Mr. Eric Abuaji, in an interview with JoyNews, disclosed the intentions of the teacher unions and workers of the district.
We are withdrawing our service because workers in this district, about 85% of us are outsiders. We have just come here to work. Together we came here to join most of us, the natives here, to work for the betterment of our district. But it seems thieves and armed robbers don't need our services. And because of that, they have been attacking most of our colleagues. On 6th May 2021, Elijah Sante, who is was a head teacher of Bantama SDA Primary, was shot on a motorbike. The second and killed. The second one was just last 2 days, 7 July 2021. Our brother, who was returning from Takrad after spending the holidays with the family, he was also shot at Premwase and killed. So these issues, coupled with other issues, we've realized that we are not safe. We are not safe at all. And most of our health workers do go on outreach in our hinterlands. And for them to robberies, armed robbers have been attacking them on these routes.
The group have tabled some demands, which includes the establishment of a military base in the area to aid police patrols within the area.
Most of the roads here are normal trouble, and because of that, we are withdrawing our services till we see action, concrete action. And these are demands. We are saying that we need a competent military patrol team. That is one. The second one is provision of police visibility at every 200 meters along Atebu Kwame Danso Kojokum Road. Yes. Arrest and prosecute the armed robbers who killed our colleagues. So these and other reasons are demands. Thank you.
They also alleged that suspects who are arrested in connection with robberies are released by the police and call on authorities to intervene.
This is not the first time suspects have been arrested. A lot of them have been arrested, but when they are arrested, they are released. They come back and then they involve themselves in these same robbery cases. They will arrest them and they again release them.
District Chief Executive of the area, Mr. Mbanya Abraham, told JoyNews that the recent robbery attacks in the area is heavily having a toll on the economic activities of the district.
It's very worrisome. Looking at the district here, we have one big market here. So looking at the situation, as human, the moment we hear this incidents of insecurity, the market women or the traders find it very difficult to come. Everybody. So if we say these robbery cases happening are not affecting us, then I'm lying. Because if you allow these things to happen, the development of your district is at stake. It will affect you. You cannot develop. How do you develop when you are not secure?
Mr. Abraham disclosed that 3 suspects have been arrested in connection to the recent murder of the young teacher by armed robbers.
God being so good, we've been able to arrest 3 of the criminals who have done that activities. And as I'm telling you now, the security is on top of the issue. And we are doing everything possible to make sure that the rest are brought to book.
He is, however, hopeful that the teachers will return to the classroom as measures are being taken to curb the situation.
This one, before you people came, I was with them. Director of Education, Director of Health, Agric, all the departments, directors, we met them, and the workers, leaders, all of them. We had a meeting this morning, and we've spoken to them, and looking at it, everybody fears and the temper are brought to control. So hopefully next week everybody is getting back to work.
Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, KJG.
It is one of the international roads linking Ghana to Burkina Faso in northern Ghana, but has been in a deplorable state for many years. The about 7-kilometer road to the border town Namo could generate as much revenue for the Bongo district as it does now. But several appeals by residents to get the road constructed have yielded no positive results. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reports the dust and its cumulative effects on the lives of residents and motorists leave much to be desired.
It is another busy day at Bongo in the Upper East region. Long trucks heavy with goods begin their 95-kilometer trek to Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. This stretch is one of 3 major roads linking Ghana to Burkina Faso, the Kolongungu, the Paga, and here, unfortunately, the road has been ignored for years.
My name is Karim Suleiman. If you are going to Bongo or Burkina Faso, and it happened that you are following a car, the dust is normally you can't even ride. It's not easy.
I'm Adongo Cletus Atule. I'm a native of Namon here from Bongo district. From 19 to Oboi, since they gave birth to me, I came and met the road like that. And until today. And then, to be honest with you, the road is not, when you go to towns or cities, it seems we are not part of Ghana. Because when even walking with barefooted motors, cars and whatever, sometimes you get sick, you fall into sick because of the dust. Even cars.
Since 1988, the road has generated substantial revenue for the country. Joseph Atanga, who was the first revenue collector, gives accounts.
Joseph Atanga, but popularly I'm known in Bongo district as Tony Atanga. And I have worked this road since 1988. I was the first revenue collector here. And this road gives Bongo District Assembly a lot of revenue. And I remember, if they can check, around 92, 94, we even had to, our internal generator fund gave us a lot of money, and we collected this how do you call it, the funds that comes from government, a common fund. We had the greatest common fund in the Bongo District here. So this road, it is the main road that can give Bongo District Assembly more revenue. And it is shorter to Ouagadougou, that is Burkina Faso capital. From here to Burkina Faso capital is about 100 miles. And when you are passing through Para, it will take more than 200 and something or 300. But here it's shorter. So
the gravel that was put on this road, most parts are full. Most of the gravel is stony, and so it brings a lot of defects on the cars, on the motor that moves along the road. And as you move, if you go down, you will see a lot of potholes that are still there. And so we think that maybe a proper reshaping could have been done.
Though the shortest route to the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou, the road has not received the needed attention. Mr. Atanga says his 16 years of working on the road as a revenue collector have shown money generated here is enough to fix the road.
When we started, we were not getting much because that time the prices were low. But as time went on, I think I could pay 3,000 to 4,000 a week, not a month. I said 3,000 to 4,000 a week. So multiply by 4.
So we are pleading to the government that if they can come and then put a quota on the road and tie it very properly for us.
Road infrastructure is the most important of all public assets because it provides access to employment, health, social, economic, and education services in the fight against poverty. It becomes more significant when a road is linked to another country. Here is Paramount Chief of Bongo, Naba Salifu Baba.
Though government has constructed a few bridges along the road, that is making it a little bit more trouble now. It will need some kind of tiring for commercial vehicles to be able to commute. If government will have to consider it as a transit route.
Good roads facilitate economic development, but poor road infrastructure is a constant source of frustration in this part of the country. A report by Mohamed Nuruddin.
And that's the note on which we wrap the news for this morning. Do stay with us. Coming up next, we dissect the newspapers in the News Review. We'll be right back.
Belated, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. I hope that you had a fantastic day. Here is Mr. Franklin Ashiade. Franklin, happy birthday to you. From Caroline, myself, and of course, Eduji and the entire family. We hope that you had a wonderful day yesterday. We wish you many more good years ahead. All right? And it's your birthday as well, Linda Ya Yabua in Aputuja in Kumasi. I hope that I didn't mess that.
I was looking out for how you would pronounce that.
It's from your husband, Nicholas Forsing, and the entire family. To you, Nanaya, happy birthday. It's also your birthday, Janet Bokpa from Isaac Amo. Oh, Mommy, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. It's a big day today for you. So Auntie Janet Bokpa from Isaac Amo and all of us, really, to you as you celebrate your birthday today. Enjoy it. All right, Ben.
It's another morning.
Yeah.
Have you got counted yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Did they get back to you?
No.
Okay.
I know someone else who tried and simply couldn't connect. So I'll try today as well to see how things go, because we must hear by thunder, by fire. We need to get counted. Once I am Ghanaian, I will get counted.
There was a post, and I think that officials should also be following the trends on social media, on Facebook and other platforms where people are, saying that they haven't been counted. Yeah. We need to be counted. We count, so we've got to be counted.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, this morning I have the Ghanaian Times newspaper, Daily Guide, the Finder BNFT, and the National Enquirer.
I'll stay with the Daily Graphic, the New Independence, Daily Statesman, and Daily Dispatch.
Okay, so let's start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Over 558 fire hydrants vanish nationwide. Vanish. Is this a Houdini sort of trick or something? Well, Fire Service says only 650 out of 1,210 are working. That's according to Chief Fire Officer Mr. Edwin Blankson. Then there's a drug probe. Let truth come out. Linguist tells commission. It was interesting yesterday listening to the linguist of, is it the Dagomba chief. Then GTA launches service providers customers single window app for tourism industry, and refund allowances paid to spouses of president and Veep. That's according to the TUC. Omosi from back. That is if any payments have been made. I also saw this chart supposedly pointing to the fact that sometime in, was it 2017 or before that, some payments were made to, the erstwhile administration and spouses of the former president and vice president. So you would be looking at Lordina Mahama and, of course, Madam Emisa Arthur. But that, I think it was Cassie Alato Forson or one of those. I saw him post that it was not true, that it had never happened before. And it would have been interesting if that had happened, because we've had the former president, John Dramani Mahama, come out, openly to condemn this bit about payments or emoluments to spouses of the president of Veep. In other stories, 13 perished, 25 injured in fire outbreaks this year. And there's that story we did this morning. We brought you 1 died, 6 injured in accident on Accra-Tema motorway. That's on page 3 of the paper. The middle spread gives us these stories. It talks about the fire hydrants, but there's also the president inaugurating an 85-bed Central Gonja District Hospital. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, AstraZeneca supports 37 military and UG hospitals. And there's ECOWAS official calls for laws to punish electoral fake news. All of that in the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper, and it's picked pace, started on social media, and now it's on all the front pages of the newspapers, at least most of them. This is what I'm talking about. CJ refutes $5 million bribery allegation. CID begins investigations. It's on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. It says the CID of the Ghana Police Service has started investigations into a $5 million bribery allegation leveled against the Chief Justice, Justice Kwesi Enim Yeboah. In an interview with the Daily Graphic yesterday, Director General of the CID, Commissioner of Police, Isaac Yeboah, said the investigations had commenced following a request by the Chief Justice. He said, and I quote, "I received a request from the Chief Justice this morning and accordingly referred it to a team of investigators for further action on code." But a bit of what the Judicial Secretary wrote on behalf of the Chief Justice says, this is it. His Lordship, the Chief Justice, is saddened that without any shred of evidence, his name has been dragged into this sordid and potentially criminal matter. His Lordship further asserts that he has not demanded or received any money from any person to influence any decision. That's all contained in that request to the CID, reason for which they've commenced investigation. But this whole bribery allegation, I think yesterday I shared the background with all of us. But what is this case that this whole allegation is coming around? It's actually a land case involving this particular chief whose name has been mentioned, Ojedom Atta the Sixth, and then the Ghana Telecommunications Limited, and the Lands Commission. So it has to do with a land. And then big names have come out of all these allegations. So something that I guess yesterday I did mention, which is usually handled on a quiet, that we all will not know about it. In fact, there are many lawyers who are going through different sort of punishments that nobody will know about it unless you decide to either visit the judicial, the
judicial service,
the judicial service, either the website or the, you try to find information.
Or maybe you try contracting the services of the person, and the person might be compelled to tell you that, oh, owing to X and Y reasons, I cannot do for you what is stated. We only hear of it when they are pretty prominent or they are in the public space, like Francis Xavier Sosu. You remember when he had his issue. So on the back of certain developments, we all knew that he was going through something till the appeal and then his...
Isn't this a bit unique, though? Because it looks like all the documents that were found before the GLC found their way out there. And that's how come we all got to know. It was, playing around on social media. Everything. It's not like somebody said, oh, it's the exact documents. The petition, the rejoinder, and then the CJ's response, which obviously, once it was directed at the CID. But we'll have a lot of conversation around this. There are people who have said that this is misdirected. And so what the option that he has is not to ask the CID to do investigations, but he could file some processes.
Other people have already started processes. When it comes to some of these matters, original jurisdiction, you would be talking about Shraj. ASEPA has petitioned Shraj. It has gone on to petition Parliament. The Speaker has responded. In fact, Parliament has responded, I should say, that they've received this petition, that they will follow through on it. And some have said that the CID, so to speak, has no locus in this matter, unless maybe the Chief Justice is looking at, seeking some redress for defamation or something of the sort. If he's going for some criminal activity, but not necessarily on the back of what has happened, because he shouldn't be going to the CID at this point in time for any rebuttals or anything of the sort. Plus, people have said that in the past, when the CID has come into any of these thorny matters, we've just seen people go scot-free, almost as though, per what people are saying, thorough investigations were not done. This is what some people have said on social media, on radio, on television as well. But I find it interesting. The General Legal Counsel, like we saw with Dr. Dominic Ayine being hauled before them and all that. The Chief Justice himself is on that board, so to speak. And you know who chairs it, right? So it's going to be interesting when matters have to go back there. Who will do what and who will have to? Why they between it all?
Well,
will anybody recuse themselves?
In the meantime, we know CID is handling an aspect which the CJ has reported through the Judicial Secretary.
Yes.
There's also the petition before Shraj.
Yes.
And then, the Parliament. So we'll see. This whole thing, it looks a bit scattered right now. It hasn't all come together yet, I guess, in the coming days. But certainly this will remain in the news for a very, very long time.
But one thing to note is that all these bodies that have come into the fray, they have their own specific role to play, depending on how you're looking at it. So it's interesting times. We'll see how Shraj will react, because I feel that we need to get to the bottom of this matter, not just for any personal interest or any individual's interest or anything, but for the sake of our democracy. It is crucial that we make it clear that the judiciary is not mired in anything of this sort. You remember the accusation by, I think it was Muntaka, if you recall, about a certain judge doing something in the course of the parliamentary discussions that we've been having. So we need to really clear up this matter, because it's not good. It
okay,
doesn't look good
so guess what? The NDC has a press conference today on the Chief Justice's bribery saga. That's how they put it. 2 p.m. today. So I told you this isn't going away, but this is big also because he's the head of the judiciary.
He is,
and it's got just the allegation has got a lot of implications as well. So you'd see that a lot of people will be jumping into this one, but let's not get it too messy.
No, we shouldn't.
Nothing has been proven yet.
But one thing that, makes this very different from the cocktail of issues we've seen in the past, this time it is not some outside person. It is a lawyer.
Exactly.
Of very high repute who is making this allegation. And you would ask yourself, why would that person want to risk all of this, putting this out? If you read that bit, it also talks about the Chief Justice supposedly wanting to do in this person and all of that. So I don't know what the undercurrents are, but that is a twist to the story that really makes it for interesting analysis. A lawyer within the system suggesting this, of course, would need
some other persons. Some other
persons
will also tell you that the person making the allegation has had his own battles.
Oh, yes, true.
As well
True.
with the system.
True.
So we wait to see. But there are other headlines on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Tourism Ministry launches app to spur growth. Student Loan Trust Fund chases 20,000 defaulting beneficiaries. Did you ever get a student loan and have you paid?
Me.
Yes,
you did that. I don't owe the state FOCO.
Okay. Did you guarantee for someone though?
No, please.
That's nice. SNP plans deleting 13,000 names from pensioners' payroll. If you go to the back page, this is a sad one that you can't begin to understand what may have gone wrong. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, 1 killed, 6 injured as truck crashes into toll booth at Tema. And I was just wondering, because, he took the whole structure down,
Yeah.
Took the whole structure
the
down.
cleaner was hit, then run over on the legs and all of that. There were all those other people who were affected. It was just a nightmare situation yesterday. And I guess it was, per what we've heard, a lack of just a little bit of patience, to pay your toll and then your toll fee and then move on. And it's cost so many lives. But on the back of that, some people have also been calling for, automated systems. When you go to other parts of the world, you don't necessarily need human beings to sit there and do some of what we're seeing here. It could result in lives being saved. This isn't the first time we are seeing something like this. But on the other hand, we also know about the PWDs, our brothers and sisters living with disabilities. And sometimes these create jobs for them. I remember going to one of the toll areas, and you would see that some of them are. So that is how they earn a living. It's something to look at from different ends.
I mean, there are so many other vehicles and persons involved in this accident. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Because that's a place.
Look at the structure.
And it's concrete.
Yes.
To think that he actually got all of them.
But have you seen the frontage? I think one of the papers
has
the front part. Is it the Daily Graphic? The front page. You see, when you see the front part of the truck, you would realize just what impact to have shattered the front of the truck.
So what kind of speed? Because they say that he first knocked down a person, a human being, before crashing into the booth and injured the attendant, and then subsequently ran into the rear side of a Nissan Saloon car. They give details of that, driven by one Emmanuel Arthur with 2 female passengers on board, and then again run into this toll booth and collapsing the whole structure. Concrete structure just like that. Driver's been arrested and investigations are still ongoing. Just down this particular story, there's poultry farmers and feed producers who have called on the government to save the livestock feed industry from collapse due to the unprecedented shortage of maize, soya and wheat bran in the country. All right, details of that story right there. That's it for the graphic.
Let's look at the Daily Guide, and their banner headline, maybe, I don't know whether to call it a dead story or whether to call it fake news, I'm sorry, but because this has been debunked, but Mahama wife salaries revealed, and I was talking about that 2017, supposedly sourced from the Ministry of Finance's 2017, let me get this monthly salary and allowance, report, some sort of report, but like I mentioned, Kasialato Forsen has put it out there that all of that is not true, but that is what the Daily Guide newspaper captures on page 3. It says CJ asks police to probe bribery, and then 1 dead, 6 injured in Tema toll booth accident. Akufo-Addo commissions 2 projects in Salaga, and Kaka's wife explains husband's death. We heard some details of that from yesterday. When you go to the middle spread, entertainment and more, Sam Crunch's daughter gets $1 million on wedding day. That's a question Then there's Ifeodo suspended as Euro Decor Home Limited ambassador. Surprise, surprise. You want to find out why?
That's sad and it's very unfortunate.
Do you want to find out why? Okay, so it says social media personality Ifeodo's contract with Euro Decor Home Limited as the company's brand ambassador has been suspended. In letter dated July 7, the decor company explained that it took the decision as a result of Ife's resolve to stay off media for some time. On July 5, 2021, she announced that she was taking a break from social media. She said that her decision to go off social media was political and that her mental health was at stake. Well, it has cost her. Let's look at other stories. There's this interesting one. MP requests law against swollen shoot disease. And the Member of Parliament for Ofinso South, Dr. Isaac Yaopuku, has asked Parliament to make a law that will make the treatment of swollen shoot disease, that is CSSVD, affected farms compulsory. According to him, the CSSVD is a potential threat to the cocoa industry in Ghana, intimating that large tracts of cocoa farms in the western, northwestern, eastern, Bono East, Ahafo, Central Volta, and Ashanti regions have been severely affected by the disease, with most of the trees completely dead. You can also check out on pages 10 and 11, SHS teachers in trouble for wasting instructional time. And there is this one, 3 robbers get 210 years. So I guess if that's not a warning enough, I don't know what would be. Ronaldo wins Euro 2020 Golden Boot. He beat a Sheikh, though they both had 5, and it was courtesy of his assists. And Saka suffers racial abuse. All of that in the Daily Guide newspaper.
All right, let's do the New Independent newspaper. And on the front page, lawyer sues Cape Coast University over human rights abuses. Red Cross faces injunction as angry members sue over controversial elections. Just a bit of, the CJ's story is also on in the paper, actually. Just the, the banner headline there. But it's the lawyer suing that I wanted to share a bit. It says 21 students of the Cape Coast Technical University have, through their legal counsel, sued the university over what the students describe as wrongful dismissal and rustication of the school authorities. Richard Kwesin Kroma Amos is the lawyer representing the aggrieved students. He's filed a 32-page application at the Cape Coast High Court, challenging the decision of the school and calling on the court to quash same for reasons cited in his motion paper and the accompanying, all the legal stuff. But you can read about it in terms of what they claim is constituting the human rights abuses and why really they were dismissed from the school. A bit on page 9 about the Red Cross. Where's the story? It says the Ghana Red Cross Society has been sued over its recent Greater Accra and national elections held in Accra last month. On June 26th, aggrieved members and individuals who contested various positions of the group have resorted to the legal means for justice after petitions and efforts made for amicable resolution have failed. The rest of it is in the paper today.
Let's check out the Finder newspaper now. Chief Justice calls for criminal investigations into bribery allegation. Treat MPs fairly, that's according to John Kuma. I'll just take a swipe at that story. And the Member of Parliament for the Ejiso constituency of the Ashanti region of Ghana, lawyer John Ampuntua Kuma, has pleaded with Ghanaians to treat members of the August House with the fairness they deserve. He also said that the Members of Parliament's office is part of the Article 71 office holders described by the Constitution. Hence, they should be treated just as all the other offices under the article. There's also the story on page 5. My husband was threatened several times before his death. That's Kaka's wife. There is Cocoa Board urges culinary sector to explore recipes that maximize cocoa use in homes, and tourism to create 1 million jobs in 4 years. Minister declares as he launches Visit Ghana app. And pictured there, Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed Awal, Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture.
All right, let's do the Daily Dispatch newspaper. The Chief Justice, remember I said that story is in all the papers, largely.
Like today, because it didn't emerge but yesterday, for example, practically nothing about it, but today it's everywhere.
Absolutely. So it's on the front page of the Daily Dispatch. But also the story that I shared with you yesterday, the 15-year-old Form 2 student at Accra Academy who we're told allegedly confers to setting fire on the school's dormitory, actually responsible for 3 fires, according to what is out. That story is here in the Daily Dispatch newspaper. And then, well, there's also the curious case of the lawyer making the allegation against the Chief Justice. And today the paper is reminding us that he was suspended in 2017. So it says lawyer FIFA was suspended for professional misconduct in 2017. His license was withdrawn for 4 years by the GLC. He was found guilty on 3 offenses. Well, here's what other people will say to the story. And so what? There are plenty others who have been suspended for one thing or the other. What is out there should be, you know, distinct from what has happened in the past, some will say. But hey, listen, who are we? The thing is unfolding. In the meantime, the disciplinary committee itself that originally was handling the matter will sit on the 15th. 15th is what? 2 days away, is it?
Yes, 2 days away.
Yeah, except that it's not a public sitting. So unless, again, somebody leaks the information to the rest of us, we wouldn't know.
So right now, leaks are the norm, not the exception.
Hey, Asemo. But if anybody would leak.
Very official documentation leak even before. And you know, some people have got sacked via leaked messages that they hadn't even received yet.
But here's the thing, you know, they all belong to one group, right?
Yeah.
So if something is leaking from that, I mean, it's from amongst them, no.
Yes,
this one.
Or if we are to go by former President Rawlings' version, may his soul rest in peace. No,
Yeah. Because journalists, no journalist will be allowed there. You have to belong to the fraternity to have access. You have to belong to a certain whatever. So they now will bring it to us and we will share. You see.
Let's do the BNFT. Government signals limited need for new borrowing. 9 pirate attacks recorded in 18 months. Very quickly, those 9 pirate attacks, some of us may not be aware, but they all happened within our territorial waters. Now, 6 out of the 9 incidents actually took place last year, with 3 occurrences taking place between January and June 2021. These attacks were mainly on ships transporting bulk petroleum and its products and ships carrying exotic goods. And so that is some cause for worry. Now, though the menace is rapidly increasing in West Africa, the Ghana Maritime Authority told the BNFT that these recorded attacks actually started from other countries and penetrated into Ghana's exclusive economic zone. But that is cause for worry. Government is also signaling a limited need for new borrowing, and it's signaling a limited need for new financing from the domestic debt market following the announcement of a new issuance calendar for July to September 2021. You can check out details on pages 2 and 3 of the Business and Financial Times newspaper.
You have another paper to review?
No. Basically, the headlines are the same. No need to go over the same ones again.
Okay. So we get ready to do myjoyonline.com, but there's a story in the Daily Graphic newspaper that I wanted to touch on page 20. To avoid any inconvenience, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust is entreating pensioners who are yet to complete their pensioner certificate to do so by August 30 this year. And, you know, just so if you haven't heard, you can do so before the deadline. Otherwise, you have to renew and go through the processes before you can be paid your pension. So SNITS is reminding you that from September 1 this year, it will embark on an exercise to delete the names of more than 13,000 pensioners who are 72 and above from its payroll. If you know that you are a pensioner but you haven't gone through the process to renew your pensioner certificate, I hope that, as you've heard, you will quickly do so before you are caught up in this one. Otherwise, it will take you a while to do the renewal and get the certificate before you begin to receive your pension. All right, Ben?
Well, let's check out myjoyonline.com, find out what the stories are there. And it says, First Lady rejects allowance, moves to refund 899,000 Ghana cedis received since 2017. Okay, so that's it. First Lady rejects allowance and is planning on returning those 899K. Ijra Kaka mentioned those who threatened to harm him, not those who wanted him dead. That is according to his wife, Humu. Then there are some teachers demand resignation of NAT's leadership over promotion exam failures. Don't rig CSO's nomination onto Office of Special Prosecutor Board, Martin Amidu tells Kufuado. And you can see why that would be problematic. Government guaranteeing vehicle loans for MPs, ridiculous. That's according to Professor Jampo. But that's not what is shared by some members of parliament. Ghana may run out of ICU beds on COVID-19 amid COVID-19 surge. That's according to the GMA. 12-year-old girl allegedly commits suicide at Jomoro in Western region. But we know there are other angles of that story that paint a different picture. There's also High Court throws out Senyor Hosi's defamation case against Kennedy Japan, as well as the Speaker announcing a review of the GIPC Act permitting Nigerian traders into Ghana's retail space. And that would have a lot of impact, so to speak, when it comes to the trading space. We know how some entities have roughed up the Nigerian community in Ghana. You can check out that and many other stories on myjoyonline.com. Right now, there is time for us to get jiggy with it when it comes to sports. Mutau is here to do it. Stay.
It has been nearly 72 hours since Accra Hearts of Oak ended their failure of winning the Ghana Premier League time for the first time in 11 years. One man who led the club to this success is Samuel Bodu, and every corner he continues to get praises from members within the Oak family. We'll also be talking about Ghana Rugby, who are currently in Kampala participating in the Rugby Africa competition, and the Ghana Athletics team that will representing us in the upcoming Tokyo Olympic Games. What is the preparations of the quartet like? We have Professor Andrew, who is the foreign-based athletes coordinator, and he's been speaking about how special this team is. This is AM Sports on the AM show with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. Let's start with Accra Hearts of Oak, where their board member, Dr. Nyaho Kamaklo, heaped praises on head coach Samuel Bodu and striker Daniel Afriye Banye after the club clinched their first league title since 2009. A 1-1 draw with Liberty Professionals on Sunday, which was March 33 of the Ghana Premier League, was enough to hand Hearts of Oak a trophy that has eluded them for 11 years. Dr. Nyaho Kamaklo has singled out Samuel Bodu and striker Daniel Banye as the standout players of the club.
I would say we didn't really see him as a special figure per se. I remember I had a talk with him, and during our discussions, I was convinced that this is somebody who knows exactly what he's about. Banye, listen to me very clearly. Banye case is interesting. I watched Banye, I think their last match when they played in Mauritania or whatever they played that match, when he was the captain of the
AFCON, under 20.
I told myself, this is a good player. But then I didn't even know that he was part of of the club.
Oh, wow.
I'm being frank with you.
Yeah.
But when I watched him train, I said, this boy has to be watched.
A lot of the fans will be looking at properly celebrating this one. How are you? Are there any plans? How are you going about it?
The next match is just this Sunday. I think the coronation was done yesterday at Accra Sports Stadium. we bought 4 bottles of champagne, expensive champagne.
What was your most difficult game of the season?
I think our match with Dwarfs.
Wow.
To me, was the most difficult game. They were determined to destroy us. Dwarfs have always been warring Accra Hearts of Oak since I grew up as a small boy following Hearts. Dwarfs So that's why we call them, and they call themselves to mysterious. But we don't know how they score their goals.
And still on Accra House of Oak, head coach Samuel Boadu says that his team will not get carried away despite winning this season's Ghana Premier League title on Sunday. There's more in this report.
The Continental Club Masters are champions of the Ghana Premier League for the first time in a decade after they were held at home by Liberty Professionals. It has been a long wait for Hearts of Oak. The last time they won a league title was in the 2008-2009 season. The Phobians finished 3 points ahead of Kotoko that season. Since then, Hearts have had to endure not just their team not winning the league, but also watching their sworn rivals Asante Kotoko win it 3 times in a row. During Hearts of Oak's drought, they finished third on 5 different occasions, but never ended up in the top 2. This season has been their best. Statistically, Hearts of Oak were guaranteed a top 2 finish, even with 3 games left to play. The Accra-based club has 61 points currently, which is the most they have accrued in the last 12 years. And after leading Hearts win this season's Ghana Premier League title, head coach Samuel Boadu is not getting carried away.
Yeah, what I can say, I'll not be swallow-headed. I'll make sure I work extra. This is the motivational cup or winning, so it will prepare me very well to go higher and higher. Yeah, we prepare very well. The mistake that we made during this game, we are going home to correct that mistake so that we can direct them tactically and physically. Then we go to, after the Wafa game, we are going to take it serious. There's something unique in the House of Oak team because when I came, they welcomed me and they supported me a lot, especially the management and the supporters as well. They were always advising me, encouraging me. They told me that I can do it, so I should push it up.
Hearts of Oak's last GPL game of the season is against Wafa on July 18.
And to some athletics now, and just next week, the Tokyo Olympic Games will begin. Ghana will be represented by 14 athletes, but in the athletics category, especially the races, Ghana have got a quartet of 4 athletes made of John Paul and Christopher Entry. These athletes, they believe, are a quartet capable of achieving greater things. This is according to Professor Owusu Andrew, who is the athletes coordinator for the foreign-based athletes.
Senior athlete and lead host, Joseph Amoa. We also owe a big thank you because Joe has been really pulling double duty in terms of what he has to do with regards to training, but also making sure that his teammates are well taken care of as and when things come up. Now, training is going well. We've had several sessions. Yesterday was one of our high-intensity sessions, just trying to make sure that we have their steps down in the relay. I think it was a productive session. We will be revisiting a bit more today and then also a bit more high intensity again tomorrow. One thing I can say about the group here, the relay team, I have been on many national teams, including some that I competed on myself. And it is amazing to see how they work together as brothers. The women also had the same or something similar in terms of taking care of each other. And this is what makes them special. This is why they are able to overcome all the obstacles that they sometimes face through no fault of their own. So I am really proud to see how well they work together and how well they keep in touch. Sometimes I wish, we had other people here to observe them in action. So I couldn't say enough how, as an association, we are proud of our athletes and the way they comport themselves and carry.
From one national team that will be representing us next week, another one is already on duty in Kampala. They are the Eagles. That is the national rugby football team. They are on image-redeeming exercise after losing heavily to powerhouse Uganda in this year's Rugby Africa Cup. Their next game is against Algeria, and joining us via Zoom from Kampala is Deputy Captain Prince Buama, and he'll be speaking to us about how they intend to recover following that opening day defeat to their first game. Now, Buama, thanks very much for joining us. Just tell us quickly, you lost the opening game to Uganda. What are the plans being put in place to ensure that you are able to recover going forward? Can you hear me, Bwama? Kindly unmute.
Please, can you come again?
The question I asked is, first of all, you lost your opening game to Uganda in the competition, and it was a wide margin, 53-12. What accounted for the defeat? Bwama, can you hear me?
Okay.
Please proceed.
Hello?
If you can hear me, please proceed.
Yeah. One, I would like to thank all our fans back there in Ghana. And yeah, truly we lost our first game against Uganda. But it comes with a whole lot of issues because mostly when we are preparing for our tournament, we have about 6 months preparation and playing some test matches here and there to see how the team will be much ready. But seeing these politics going on here and there, it really affected our preparation for this tournament. And like, it's not been easy because as we are speaking now, the Ghana rugby account has been frozen. But yet still, Mr. Betmensa make it possible for us to get to Kampala. So all those politics here and there has really affected our performance during our first game. But yes, still, the hope hasn't lost yet because we have our second game against Algeria, which is coming on this Wednesday. So me, myself, and the captain, Salom Gavo, we've tried our best to bring the guys together and motivate ourselves and make sure that coming this Wednesday, we'll come out with a victory.
You've spoken about the challenges that have resulted in your opening day defeat to Uganda. Now tell us, what are the next preparations online been like to ensure that your next game against Algeria is one you would win and give yourself the opportunity of qualification to the next stage?
Yeah, for now, we, the captains and the technical team, are together trying to bring one or two things together to make sure we'll see ourselves through on Wednesday so that we can qualify for the next stage. Because as I said, this politics has cost us a lot. It has really cost us a lot. But yes, still, hope is not yet lost. We talk to the guys, we speak to them, we've motivated them that, guys, this is our time. Even though like our preparation was very poor because we didn't have much time to prepare for this tournament. So we even took this Uganda game as like our first test match, even though we lost, but that's how we see it. But coming this Wednesday, that's where we know we are really going into the game with fully prepared and correct mindset, which we know is going to give us a positive result at the end of the game.
So at this point, are you suggesting that the opening game that you used as a warm-up, Ghanaians can be very hopeful that the next game against Algeria, you're giving off your best and you could win this? And at this point, do you think psychologically the entire team is ready for this game?
Yeah, surely, because at this point, like playing against Uganda, our first game, it helped us to look at a lot of mistakes that we did and we work on them and we fix them. And hopefully coming this Wednesday, we can guarantee a successful win.
My last question before I let you go will have to do with what would you describe as the biggest achievement for this very team? Considering all the politics that have transpired before this competition, what would you say is an achievement for the team?
With this team, I can see this is the best performance so far since me, myself, I joined the national team because the players who are in now and players from Ghana, players from SA, players from UK, is like we are very much ready and the performance and the players in here now are ready. We are really switched on, and we are ready to fight and make sure we see ourselves through the next stage.
Boama, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate your time, and we wish you and your colleagues all the best, because you are representing an entire nation, and success for you is success for the country. On this note, we say thanks very much for joining us for the AM show. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. Head on to myjoyonline.com and read some more sports stories.
Hello there, welcome to AM Talk. My guest in the studio, Vincent Eko Asifo, is Member of Parliament for Old Tafo. He's a member of the Education Committee of Parliament and the Health Committee. Also on the program is Mohammed Abdulaziz, former Member of Parliament for Myong. Gentlemen, a very good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Mama Villa. Good to see you too, and good to be here again.
Yeah, you just vanished from Parliament.
I didn't. And his colleagues came after me, and unfortunately, I painfully.
Was it money that you didn't have, or what?
It's true that there was some level of vote buying, but there was also some internal orchestration by some people within my own party. My party chairman was complicit. He had decided to work for the MPP. For
is it?
Oh, yeah. He's currently on suspension and going through some disciplinary processes, just to be, so that at least some other people who want to take such a step in the future would use that one as a reference point.
Would you try again?
Parliament is not my immediate attention now. You don't say no as a politician. It is risky to say no, but it's not my immediate attention now.
Okay.
What I want to see, or what I want to do, is to ensure that we take the seat back. It could be with or without Aziz, but the most important thing is for the NDC to have the seat back. Painfully, the seat went into a position under my tenure. I feel that pain, I feel that regret, and I would want to support the party to be able to take the seat back. I haven't made up my mind to walk back to Parliament yet. I may or may not.
Okay. Well, but it's good to have you on the show. Yes.
When you make statements like there was vote buying, accounting to you're lost in the election.
Part of it.
I mean, when you say that, for me, the only interpretation that I can put to it is that the electorate did not know their ways to make sure that at least they will get a good
are
candidate.
You denying that?
You see, I'm not really denying
votes. You may not say votes buying, but you give them things to influence them to vote for you.
There are thousands of electorates over there. Can the MPP's candidate buy everybody? That cannot be. It's a verdict on your leadership. It's a verdict on the leadership of the NDC as a whole. For me, I think that the MPP won the 2020 elections because of the showman's job that we've been doing over the years, the past 4 years. And so it cannot be on the basis of vote buying. But let me say a very good morning to the good people of Old Tafo constituency.
How is it going with your constituents?
I was having a chat with you, an informal chat with you outside there. And clearly you can see that it's not easy, the anticipation.
Nobody said it was going to be easy.
But we are up for the task.
Okay.
We are up for the task. And I'm sure that I should be able to give good leadership to the good people of Old Tafo constituency.
Great.
That was the reason for voting for me. And I have no doubt in my mind that we'll be able to live up to the expectations.
It's too early in the day yet.
I like you to succeed, so I always wish you well. Okay, now let's start with this issue. And if you go to myjoyonline.com, you'll see this headline. First Lady rejects allowances, moves to refund 899,000 Ghana cedis received since 2017. And there's a statement that I will be reading to you. It will be on the screen shortly. But basically, the First Lady, Rebecca Kufuor, has declined the offer for her to be paid allowances. According to a July 12 statement, she has also decided to refund all monies paid to her as allowances from the dates of the President's assumption of office, that is from January 2017, to dates amounting to over 899,000 Ghana cedis. This comes on the back of recommendations by the Professor Ya Ntiamoa Baidu-led Presidential Committee on Emoluments for Article 71 office holders. The committee had recommended that the First Lady be paid a salary equivalent to a cabinet minister who is a member of parliament, a cabinet minister who is a member of parliament while her husband is in office, and the payment of a salary equivalent to 80% of the salary of a minister of state who is a member of parliament if the spouse served one full term as president, or 100% of the salary of a minister of state who is a member of parliament if the spouse served 2 or more full terms as president. The committee further suggested that the Second Lady be paid a salary equivalent to a cabinet minister who is not an MP while her husband is in office, and the payment of a salary equivalent to 80% of the salary of a minister of state who is not a member of parliament if the spouse served one full term as president, or 100% of the salary of a minister of state who is a member of parliament if the spouse served 2 or more full terms as vice president. However, the past few days have been rife with concerns by the general public over the implementation, with many questioning the capacity in which such an allocation would be made to the said spouses. So it is on the back of this that we have the analysis with my guest in studio. Perhaps I will just ask for a quick reaction to this latest development. I'll start with you, Stasis.
Mama V, good morning to our viewers. The release from the office of the First Lady says that she has rejected the offer.
Thank you, but no thank you.
That clearly cannot be a rejection. It cannot be a rejection because the recommendations came, the president looked at it, it got approval from Parliament, the administrative processes were taken, and the money is paid into your account, and you duly received it. And so if there is some public outcry on the back of which you are funding the money, you don't tell us that you are rejecting the money. To reject an offer is when that offer is made. Then you turn it down. That's where you can talk about an offer. A rejection. But not when the money is paid, there is public outcry, TUC comes to confirm that indeed their checks has revealed that those monies have been paid into your account. Then within 24 hours, you say you are rejecting. That cannot be. That payment is unconstitutional, it is illegal, and the committee that made that recommendation acted beyond their mandate. And you see, at the beginning, what they sought to do was to drag in the former First Lady and Second Lady by saying that that payment that the committee recommended was not just for the current First Lady and Second Lady. You see, the Professor Ntiamoa, right, committee had a specific mandate to deal with the emoluments of Article 71 office holders for the period January 7, 2017 to January 6, 2021. No former First Lady was an officer within that period. And so all recommendations were limited to Madam Rebecca and Hajia Samira. That is a fact. And so the attempt that they made earlier to suggest that those payments were to be made even to former First Ladies is not true and cannot be true. What we need to insist is that Ghana is a country of laws. If there is anything that we want to do, it must be anchored on law. Now, people have raised a lot of questions, even beyond the legality of the payment, the propriety and the timing. At a time that we are emerging from COVID, at the time that government has imposed 7 new tax handles, in these hard times that people have lost their jobs resulting from COVID, we have been hit by 7 new taxes from government. We are just coming from the story of the president spending as much as 3 million Ghana cedis on a chartered flight, on a luxurious chartered flight, At a time that...
that amount hasn't been confirmed.
Oh, Mav, you can do your own calculations of 15,000 euro over the number of days that he spent abroad. Even beyond that, at a time that we are telling public sector workers that the economy is so hit that we cannot give them any meaningful increment in their pay, and we are only proposing just 4%. In fact, we are paying them only 4%. Public sector workers, at least for the past 10 years, haven't received anything less than 10%. For the first time, public sector workers are getting just 4% increment in their pay. If you are calling on Ghanaians to make sacrifices and to tighten their belts because the economy is hit, because the resources are limited, this is not the time that you want to pay some salaries to your spouses, when indeed you know that already they have paid some allowances. And this...
Why do you put the blame on the president when it was a committee that did the work and made the recommendations? In fact, the 7 parliaments also approved those recommendations.
That is true. But it remains a fact that the committee was put in place by the president. He saw the report. It came to parliament, the 7th parliament approved it. And so even when you read the letter of the First Lady, she tries to lay some emphasis on the parliamentary approval, even talking about NDC MPs and MPP MPs. I can understand that the 7th parliament has some blame to take in respect of the approval. But you see, my good friend here has just walked into parliament. I'm sure you see some of the happenings in parliament. When you come back from elections are held on 7th of December, and the parliament will dissolve on 6th of January midnight. When you go on recess for elections, you come to parliament barely a week before that parliament is dissolved. And so at that time, attendance to parliament is very poor. Some of these issues are held at the committee of a whole before they bring the recommendations to a plenary. And so I understand that the 7th parliament has some portion of the blame to take for not doing some due diligence in the approval. But it tells you, but you are aware, even when parliament is adjourning, a sine die, that is when governments will bring all manner of loans, because at that time, you don't have enough time to be able...
So you're justifying the poor job that the 7th parliament
I am not justifying it. I'm saying that
the
7th parliament should take a blame for that, and that we should have done a proper job, we should have done due diligence. I think that we cannot escape blame from this, the 7th parliament, we can't escape blame from this. But we must also call out a government for rushing to parliament with very heavy and bulky documents at a time that they know that parliament is about rising. That is also something that we must be able to speak to. But I admit that parliament should have raised those questions at that time.
I get you.
You don't approve it. You don't approve it, and then when the monies are paid, then questions are raised. We cannot exonerate ourselves from any blame.
All right.
But I think that President Akufo-Addo, who put in the committee, should obviously carry.
All right, I'll give you the opportunity, but also just to remind you that this was just to regularize something that we're told is already ongoing.
I don't think so.
Listen, please go ahead.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because that did not come to replace the allowances.
All right.
That we are not being told.
I'll come back to you.
Yes. I am very, very surprised that these comments will be coming from former member of parliament. I am saying this because the emolument that we have as a structure in this country is having a history. A history that can be traced from the beginning of the 4th Republic, right from the Ginstrait Committee to the Chinri History Committee to the Edu Boarding Committee and what have you. Now, if you check the Professor Ntiamwa Committee, they laid a certain basis, or they laid a certain foundation. And I will take you to page 61 of the Professor Ntiamwa Committee. I'll just need about 1 minute, just for the purposes of your viewers. It says that the administration of President Kufuor introduced the extension of courtesies In fact, the Professor Tintiamo is saying that they started during President Kufuor, but Atudazi has also indicated for the Ghanaian public to also know that indeed, even during the Rawlings regime, these payments were being made, including payment of monthly allowances to spouses of former heads of state, presidents, vice presidents, and subsequent administrations have continued the gesture and even extended them to the incumbent first and second ladies. Now the gesture remains purely humanitarian. Emphasis mine. The gesture remains purely humanitarian to support, in some cases, rehabilitate former first ladies who were evidently struggling to subsist. Now, the point that I am so much interested in is, however, there is no legal basis for this support. So, a former member of parliament, my brother Aziz, cannot say that the committee, that is the Professor Ntiamo committee, acted in variance with the constitution, or it is illegal. It cannot be illegal, because the committee itself has indicated that the payment of these allowances were based on humanitarian grounds. And they have also agreed that indeed there is no legal basis for it.
What I thought I heard him say was this was to please the president.
But he said that it was illegal. The committee acted at variance with the constitution, and for that matter, it is illegal. But I'm just, if it is ultra virus, yes, it also means that it is illegal.
Beyond their scope.
Absolutely, if it's beyond their scope. But the committee itself has indicated in page 61. But if we want to go strictly legal, now some professionals have made it clear, yes, that it takes a lot more than a recommendation. It has to be a bill that goes to Parliament if you want to establish that, because they are not Article 71 office holders. That is the mistake that we've been doing all this while. I'll tell you why. The committee sought to include these allowances or salaries as part of the privileges of the president and the vice president. Well, if you check the Ntiamo committee, there are 10 privileges that are set out for the president and 9 privileges that are also set out for the vice president, including official accommodation that is supposed to be enjoyed by the president, residential accommodation that is also supposed to be enjoyed by the president, security and other things. And they added the monthly allowances as part of the privileges of the president and the vice president. It is not synonymous to saying that because Article 71 does not include spouses of the president and the vice president, they have acted beyond their mandate. Because, as we are aware, as MPs, we are also even entitled to security personnel. We are entitled to security allowances, drivers and what have you. But drivers and securities are not stated as part of Article 71 holders. If you check the Article 71 holders, clearly apart from Chairman of Public Services Commission, the National Media Commission, the Lands Commission, and the National Commission for Civic Education, including Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the members of Parliament. Under no circumstance are you going to see that security personnel who are paid by members of Parliament are part of the Article 71 holders, but they have been included in the Privileges Committee. So the committee have not acted beyond their mandate. That is number one. Number two, let me also applaud the First Lady for such a bold step. Government of the people, by the people, and for the people, listening to the public outcry, has decided that she is refunding all the emoluments that have been paid on tabletop or what have you to the state. Simply because of the public backlash? Absolutely. She even indicated that in her statement. But the call that I will make on this platform today is that when you do the calculations of the amount of money that the former First Lady, Lordina Mahama, also took from the state, my brother Mion, it is amounting to about 3 million Ghana cedis, over 3 million Ghana cedis. I am challenging. Where are your figures coming from? If you do the calculations, at the time that he was former second lady and becoming a former first lady, becoming a first lady and what have you. If you do the calculations, I am telling you authority that you are going to get not less than 3 million Ghana cedis. I am challenging Lordina Mahama to also set the pace.
Why should she do it?
Because the public is not happy.
About what?
But you just said it.
About what?
About the fact that... hold on. The public is not happy about the fact that these monies are being paid to former first ladies, former second ladies, and even incumbent first ladies and second ladies. And that is why I'm saying that Rebecca Akufo-Addo has set the example because it is government for the people, by the people, and for the people. The 3 million Ghana cedis that Lordina Mahama has also taken from 2009 to 2016. I am charging Lordina Mahama if she is a true patriot or if she's a true citizen of Ghana, that she loves Ghana, she should be able to refund these monies back to the consolidated fund, because that is what the Ghanaian people are crying for now.
Would you be making similar calls on all the other surviving spouses?
Absolutely, because
including Mama Teresa, the wife of President Kufuor.
We are now seeing that.
Would you speak to that?
We are now seeing that.
Mama Teresa.
Hold on. We are now seeing that, as per the committee's report, and if you check the Article 71 as well, spouses of former ladies, spouses of former president, and spouses of incumbent president are not supposed to be taken care of as part of Article 71. Now, the history that I made you understand from the Green Street Committee, from the Chinri Hesi Committee, from the Dubois-Den Committee, and what have you, was basically, or the basis was on humanitarian grounds. That some former ladies, former first ladies, and former second ladies have been struggling to subsist. And for that matter, these committees, even though was not part of the mandate of the committee of the various administrations under the Fourth Republic, yet they decided that on humanitarian grounds, let's give these emoluments to them. If the Ghanaian people says that this is not the way to go, and the current First Lady has set this example, I have no doubt in my mind that the others should be able to also do same, especially Lordina Mahama, about 3 million Ghana cedis. And I'll take you to Article 71.
Why her?
Article 71.
Why Lordina?
Hold on, she is the immediate former, former First Lady.
So shallow.
You can't say that here. No, you have sat on this platform. No, you can't say that.
Okay.
You have sat on this platform.
Okay, we've been doing this really nicely.
You have made bogus arguments on this platform.
Okay, here
arguments
so
that lacks merit.
So far,
arguments that are childish on this platform. Yet we listen to them.
Okay, Vincent, don't go there. I think we've done really well. Please, let's stay on course.
3 million Ghana cedis paid to Lordina Mahama. She should refund it to the consolidated
fund. Let's stay on course.
Why should Lordina Mahama keep those money? Yet you are happy that Rebecca Akufo-Addo has also funded those money.
I don't get angry. I know what you're about to do.
You cannot say that.
Okay. So he's made this point. Just in wrapping up, just a few minutes.
You want Lordina to keep the money, but you're happy that Rebecca Akufo-Addo has refunded the money.
Mama VC, I'm sure the narration that the MPP have decided to come up with is to draw in the person of Lordina Mahama. That will not wash. Deal with your mess. When you try to explain Article 71, you have listing.
You were part of the
my
7th
brother,
Parliament.
Keep quiet and listen.
No, you were part of the 7th Parliament.
You have the constitution.
You superintended over the mess that we are talking about. You are part of the 7th Parliament.
Vincent, let him land, and then I'll give you the opportunity. Please go ahead.
I'm not going to get angry.
But you took your mask off. Why did you take your mask off?
The issue. Listen to me. You have the Constitution before you. Go to page 60, Article 71.
Yes.
Tell me where
the
wife of the president.
That is your lack of understanding. It's your lack of understanding.
My brother.
This is simple. You just can't understand it.
Can you speak to my viewers?
Tell me where in Article 71 of the 1992 Constitution.
But I have not said that here.
That the first lady or the second lady are captured as members of Article 71. You cannot use a committee to reconstitute the membership of Article 71 office holders.
They
You
didn't
cannot.
do that.
Oh, listen.
There was no recategorization.
Please, I'm handling this.
Page 61. There was no recategorization.
I'm handling this.
You have not read.
That's
what you to read. I have not said that yet. I said that they have included that in the privileges of the president and the vice president.
Let me handle.
10 privileges for the president, 9 privileges for the vice president.
Let me do this.
And it is the inclusion. That is what the committee did.
Let me do this, please. Abdulaziz, please. Go ahead. Vincent, please let me do this. Otherwise, it will be a bit messy.
You are not a member of parliament.
You're also a former member of parliament.
So be decent.
So you have to be decent to be sarcastic on this platform and be lying.
Let's move on.
I will not allow you to lie on this platform.
Vincent, please,
I will speak to you. I have just challenged my brother here to tell me where in Article 71, where the wife of the president, Mama Rebecca, where the wife of the vice president, Samira Bawumia, are captured as members of Article 71 office holders.
Okay, wait.
To the extent
Okay, but this is what I heard him say.
You see,
wait, hang on.
I'll come to that.
Please listen to
I listen to him equally.
That these are
an extension
privileges
of
being president
because you won't listen. You won't listen.
Wait, hang on. So let me do this. Otherwise, it will be messy, please. Okay. So I'm just clarifying the points to you.
I listened to him, Amavi.
So you get it.
And he even sought to use the drivers of members of parliament. That is why you are paid your salary and you then pay your driver. Right? Parliament does not. It
is not part of the privileges.
Oh, that's why they pay you.
Vincent, let him laugh.
That's why they pay you.
But don't ask him questions.
That's why they pay you. That's why they pay you.
He's struggling to understand what I said.
No, you see.
No, so you come back. You come back and make your point.
I cannot be blamed for your lack of understanding to what I said. I cannot be blamed for that.
Vincent, you come back and make your point.
I have not said that.
You have to allow him to land, and then you come back and make your point. He says he clearly heard you. He clearly heard you. He's just interpreting it the way that he wants to.
That I am insisting that payment is illegal, is unconstitutional. We know clearly who are the members of Article 71 office holders. The wife of the president is not included. The wife of the vice president is not included. And so to the extent that you make such payments to them, it is illegal. And she's talking about almost 900,000 Ghana cedis. If you read the letter, she's talking about refunding allowances that she received.
Since 2017.
Since 2017 up to date. That is about 54 months. 2017 January up to today is about 54 months. If you were to do the mathematics, that gives you a monthly allowance of 16,000 Ghana cedis. That is not what the Ghanaian public are outraged about. That is not what they are outraged about. The Ghanaian public is angry at the fact that government sees the need to pay the wife of the president and the wife of the vice president salary. There's a clear difference. No, she was never paid any salary.
Wait, please
There's a clear difference between an allowance and salary.
No, I want you to learn. I have a question for you. So you say you are explaining why the public is angry.
The public is angry because of the fact that you have decided to pay the wife of President Akufo-Addo a salary of almost 35,000 Ghana cedis. You cannot compare that one to a payment of monthly allowance of 16,000 Ghana cedis. Why? She has received that money all along.
Okay.
And no one has complained.
Those ones were also allowances.
So I've got questions.
This time, this salary was not coming to replace.
Salaries. These were allowances.
They were allowances. I have told you, listen to me.
Wait.
But
I am saying that.
So how about the calls, even though they are allowances, now people are saying, just like Vincent said,
yes,
that let's the former First Lady also bring forward her allowances.
I have not heard anybody, and I can tell you that this is the narration of the MPP simply because the First Lady has been forced to refund the salary. They are trying to draw. Why? Why is she mentioning Lordina Mahama? When you know very well that the wife of President Kufuor, who is still alive, is also a former First Lady. Listen to me. Was a First Lady for 8 good years. These allowances have been paid. No one has denied it. Right from the inception of the Fourth Republic, we've listened to Atudazi. We've listened to government, the experts in governance. And so the public is livid about the payment of what they call salary.
Okay.
About 35,000 Ghana cedis. You see, this country is not just about this country is not just about President Akufo-Addo. This is a man who said he was coming to protect the public purse. Is that how to protect the public purse?
Okay,
what
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What did they buy at all?
I'm giving
that
you...
they have provided everything.
Thank you.
And yet you want us to pay your wife?
Okay, great. Thank you.
We can't just tolerate
Vincent,
it.
Please.
And any attempt to draw in Lordina will not wash. She has not received any salary of any amount. It's on record.
Thank you. Please.
I cannot be blamed for his lack of understanding or his lack to listen to me when I am making a point. I cannot be blamed for that. Hold on. I have sat on this platform.
Remember that you're not speaking to him.
I have sat on this platform because he's a former member of parliament.
But there are a number of people that are watching
He has
you
been
right now.
part of the mess that he himself is talking about. Because the committee, I've already given you the history, that the committee of the Green Street, of the Chenrihisi and all of that, dates back from the beginning of the Fourth Republic. When you read the committee's report...
They didn't make... Those committees you referred to
yes.
did not make recommendations for salaries to be paid to first ladies.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. They never said that. They said that, and if you look at page 61, they said that they have been paying these salaries or these allowances to former first ladies because they have been struggling to subsist. And the former first lady includes Lordina Mahama. I am saying that.
Why do you seem to be fixated on Lordina Mahama? No, please, let me handle this.
Is she not a former first lady?
Mr. Abdulaziz, please, let me do my job. Thank you.
I am putting it on record.
Yes.
That the amount of money that Lordina Mahama took from the state as a former second lady,
as allowance, as
a second lady, and as a first lady, is not less than 3 million Ghana cedis.
Basis of your calculation.
I am telling you the story. But you
just mentioned the figure and said you are telling me.
800,000. Hold on. You sat here and said that the 800,000 that have been paid.
That is contained in the letter of the first lady. It is contained in her letter.
You made it look
as if that every month you say
16,000. Hold on.
It is contained in her letter.
I am also telling you that. Per the committee
you just sit down here and you mention any amount and say you are telling me
every month. Let him.
These monies were paid to former first ladies and they were paid to former second ladies. My point is that if Rebecca Akufo-Addo has refunded the money, all the other former first ladies and second ladies should do same, including Lordina Mahama.
That's a very warped logic.
Lordina Mahama, who has taken over 3 million Ghana cedis from the state. It should be reverted
Mama, to the letter. Put the letter on screen.
And if you check the
put the letter on screen.
Can I wait? Can you hold on? If you check the committee's
report. Did you hold on when I was
report,
speaking?
the committee's report is very clear.
Please, he's landed. He's landed, please.
Now what?
These monies were supposed to be paid on humanitarian grounds. There is no statement or comment in the committee's report that said that you are now going to include the spouses of the former first ladies, former second ladies, as part of Article 71, as he made us believe on this platform. Okay. There have not been any basis for that.
Okay.
And there was no recategorization of Article 71 of the 19 and 2 Constitution.
We want to hear from Samira Bawumia. Samira Bawumia, we want to listen from her. That the first lady says she will find her money. We want to hear from Samira Bawumia before the end of the day.
We also want to hear from Lordina Mahama that he took.
I want to ask you.
The salary that she took, she will refund the salary of 1.6 million.
He was part of the 7th Parliament. You are part of the mess.
We want to hear from Samira Bawumia.
I want to ask you, gentlemen.
If she will refund the money.
Just for a moment.
Shameful.
Just for a moment. Can you put down your MPP NDC colours just for a moment? You're calling on... Wait,
that's important.
You're calling on previous first ladies and second ladies to refund allowances that we paid to them.
Lordina Mahama should be able to pay that money.
No. I just wanted.
I'm sure you just wanted this money for Lordina Mahama in your mind.
I just wanted to clarify.
Lordina Mahama in your mind.
3 million Ghana cedis.
Mr. Abdul, wait.
The basis of your calculation.
Hang on, gentlemen. Just for the sake of our viewers, the first lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, was responding to the commentary on the back of the committee's work that has been made public now, obviously. And she's decided to take the step. Not everyone may want to follow her. It's a choice.
Even read her letter.
It's her choice, isn't it?
But I am saying that.
Read her letter.
I am saying that this government, or if you like, every government, is government for the people, by the people, and for the people. The people are not happy about these emoluments that have been paid
the salaries.
over time.
Salaries.
You get it?
Get it
so
right.
I am also saying that if Lordina Mahama is a former First Lady of the Republic, Rebecca Akufo-Addo
that's what they have been coached.
is an incumbent
to say
First Lady of the Republic.
Okay.
She has decided that on the basis of the public outcry, this is not the way to go.
Okay.
Would
we hear from Samira though?
If it's possible.
Okay.
Because
it is possible.
I want us to...
On the salaries.
Her big sister has shown the way.
On the salaries.
It is possible. But be interested in Lordina Mahama because
gentlemen, we've got to move on.
She has taken.
We've got to move on. We've got to move on.
I just want to help you. I want to help you.
No, he says he doesn't need help. Thank you.
I want to help him.
I don't need your help.
No, he doesn't need help.
Mama Teresa says that she has received about 900,000 Ghana cedis in the last 4 years.
Where are you getting that from?
In a letter.
You said Teresa. Okay, you're talking about Rebecca.
Mama Rebecca says that she has received about 900,000 Ghana cedis in the last 4 years as allowances. If that was to be true, and let's even assume that there was no increment
that is verifiable.
from the regime of President Mahama, if you multiply 900 times 2, you don't get 3 million Ghana cedis.
Okay, so you're disputing the figure that she puts out.
And so you just don't sit here, mention any amount of...
Thank you, gentlemen.
And say you are challenging me.
I'll get you the right figure.
Don't do that.
I'll get you the right figure.
You're a member of parliament.
This can always be verified. Thank you. I want you gentlemen...
They must refund those monies.
Mr. Abdulaziz.
Why?
Thank you. Vincent, thank you. We're moving on. We're talking about...
Duty-free shop at the Terminal 3. You give to your daughter to run. You appoint your daughter as a chairman of the Creative Arts Council.
Abdulaziz.
It's like all about President Akufo-Addo.
Abdulaziz.
The man who said he was there to protect
Mr. Abdulaziz, can we stay on course?
The right figure
Let's
for
stay on
Lordina
course.
Mahama to pay.
Let's stay on course.
3 million Ghana cedis. 272,256.
This is from your party headquarters. This is from your party
headquarters. It is
headquarters.
verifiable for everybody to check.
This is from your party headquarters.
Thank you, gentlemen.
This is from your party headquarters.
That Lordina Mahama took.
This is from your party headquarters.
It has
no value here.
Mr. Abdulaziz.
It has no value here.
It is still a developing story, so we'll see what happens. But let's talk about another developing story, which has our Chief Justice at the center of it, a bribery allegation. The NDC has advertised a press conference, and I'm wondering, why does the NDC want to jump into this matter?
Mama V.
Yes, sir.
Have we told you exactly what we are coming to?
Oh, yes, you have. You have.
I know.
You have.
There are issues that are raging. The issue of the bribery scandal involving Justice Eni Yebua is one. The shameful salary that has been paid to the First Lady and the Second Lady are issues that are raging. These are issues that I believe we'll speak to. I haven't spoken to the communications officer, but I think that these are issues that we'll be addressing. And speaking about the Chief Justice issue, I think that we should allow the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice to look into the matter. We have seen how the CID has conducted themselves in recent past. There is no public confidence that the CID can do any proper job and report same. And so if the Chief Justice is minded, I'm aware that ASEPA has also written to Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice to look into the matter and issue a report. And when I looked at the Constitution, the Article 218 that talks about the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, if you go to 218E, it is very clear that the Church is empowered. They are anchored on law to investigate all instances of alleged or suspected corruption and misappropriation of public monies by officials to take appropriate steps. So Church, in my estimation, is the best institution to be able to deal with this matter. We must ensure that there is some confidence in our judiciary. When President Akufo-Addo swore in Chief Justice Eni Yebua, he was charged to jealously guard the independence of the judiciary and also to bring honor to the institution of the judiciary. If these allegations are established, that obviously does not bring honor to the judiciary. Already there is some level of discontent. About 85% of Ghanaians from the last research that I read don't have confidence in the judiciary. For the Chief Justice to be alleged to be involved in such a behavior of demanding some $5 million bribe is regrettable. We must do a full-scale investigation, and that is where Shraj comes in hand. And so let's see what happens. From now, I don't trust that the CID can do any proper investigation on this matter. The CJ is the head of the judiciary. He's the chairman of the General Legal Council and also the Judicial Service. And so that leg is out of contemplation. We should not even contemplate using you can't be a judge in your own court. We should have an appropriate forum. And like I indicated, I think that I want to go with Asipa when they see that Shraj. And when you read 218E, Shraj is fully anchored on law to be able to go into that matter.
All right, great. Yes, let me hear you.
The penchant of my colleague NDC of always bastardizing state institutions. It's one that will have to be taken care of very well with respect to the fact that state institutions are supposed to be part of the development agent of this country. And so if you sit on a big platform like JoyNews and bastardize the CID office, that the CID office cannot do any better job. He has also sat here to read to us the Shraj mandate, which includes human rights breaches and corruption and what have you. Now, if you believe that Shraj is clothed with the responsibility as per the 1992 Constitution to investigate some of these matters, but the big question is, why is the NDC having a press conference about this? If you believe that the Shraj should be able to do a human job.
Legitimate stakeholders who can also
I'm not saying they are
have
not,
a say in
but
the
my point is that
drama, if you like.
My point is that you have just sat on this platform to say that you believe that Shraj will be able to do a very good job. Rather, the CID cannot do any better job. Let's not forget that the petition is not only with these two agencies or institutions, that is the CID and the Shraj, but also with the Ghana Legal Council. He has also sought to even impugn the integrity of the Ghana Legal Council, that the CJ is part of the Ghana Legal Council. For that matter, he is going to be a judge in his own cause.
He cannot be.
Hold on.
He cannot be.
Can I finish?
Listen to me well.
Can I finish? The point that I want to make is that I can only have a proper conclusion that the NDC is only peeved about the outcome of the election petition. If that is not the case, I don't see why a state institution like Shraj is supposed to establish a prima facie case if the allegations that is coming from the lawyer and Ojiadom is anything to go by. Because on the face of the narrative that I am seeing, I can only see that it is a deal gone bad, because Ojiadom has already... Hold on, can I finish?
Please let him continue.
Ojiadom, I mean, you have to be decent on this platform. Ojiadom has already issued a statement saying that he does not know the Chief Justice. He has never seen him before, except to say that he has been seeing him on the bench when he appears in court. The lawyer is also saying that he is not having any dealings whatsoever with the Chief Justice, and for that matter, he has not seen the Chief Justice, or he has not engaged the Chief Justice on any matter of any 5 million Ghana cedis. The two alligators clearly
$5 million, so it's not Ghana cedis.
$5 million. The two alligators.
That's about 20 million Ghana cedis, right?
But nothing has been proven
he's interested
yet.
in that. You see,
Yeah, but
the two alligators, that is the Ojia Dom, the Sith, and
His
the
former
lawyer, have come out clearly to say that they are not having any kind of engagement with the Chief Justice. Both of them. Because I'm just saying that it is a deal gone bad because he has failed to understand the facts.
That's your suspicion.
That is my suspicion because both of them are now saying, because that is what they are going to tell the Shraj when the Shraj invites them for any investigation. Because the lawyer is saying that I have not had any cause to engage the Chief Justice on any $5 million. Ojia Adam is also saying that I have not had any cause to have any engagement with the Chief Justice on any $5 million. So what's the issue? Clearly, there's no issue.
I thought the narration was a bit different from how you're putting it right now.
The narration was that the lawyer charged 300,000 Ghana cedis as legal fees from his client. Then Ojia Adam is now making a statement that, or is now conferring with the lawyer that there is a friend who can now speak to the Chief Justice for him. These were the allegations in front of the Ghana Legal Council. The lawyer is also saying that, or the Ojia Adam is also now saying that the lawyer informed him that he can now go and speak to the Chief Justice and give him $5 million so that the case will now be ruled in his favor. These are two allegations coming from a lawyer and his client. But later, statements from both of them are now clear that they have not had any cause to engage the Chief Justice or whatsoever on this particular $5 million. So I think that even though we have to allow Shraj to be able to probe the matter, I believe that the CID will be able to do a good job. And I am so happy.
So what's the CID looking into exactly?
It's a prospective criminal matter. If you check the criminal offences code, corruption.
So if who is the CID interested in?
The CID is now having a petition that has been referred to it by the Ghana Legal Council on the direction of the Chief Justice.
No. Okay.
On the direction of the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is saying that from what he has seen on social media and in the media, his integrity seemed to have been impugned by these allegations. And he has referred the matter to the General Legal Council. And the General Legal Council has also referred the matter to the CID. Assepa's Shraj matter is constitutionally mandated because any individual or body corporate who seek for interpretation or who seek to trigger the mandate of Shraj that there should be an interpretation of a breaches of human rights or corruption issues, Shraj is having that mandate to deal with. So that is a private matter.
I just asked you that because isn't this being rushed? Because originally this is a matter before the General Legal Council.
Yes.
And the petition, the rejoinder, what we've heard after, these are documents that went before the disciplinary committee of the council.
Yes.
And so I thought that if anybody would make references to other parties, it would wait for the council, the disciplinary committee to finish its work. Because these are not, they didn't produce the petitions and the rejoinder for the general public. It was specifically addressed to the disciplinary committee.
Yes, there's a prospective criminal matter.
So we're not going ahead of ourselves?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, that there's a prospective criminal matter. And if it is established that the Chief Justice asked for a certain $5 million from the lawyer, or if you like, Ojia Adam, then that is a criminal matter.
So is the CID now investigating the Chief Justice?
No, he is investigating. Investigating the allegations that have been put forward. So it is possible that the Chief Justice will also be invited. It is also possible that those making the allegations, that is Ojia Adam and the lawyer, will also be invited, so as to establish as to the veracity or ascertain the veracity of the issues that have been put forward.
Okay.
So I think that the CID is clothed with the responsibility to deal with this matter.
This is clear enough. I mean, would you change your mind based on the analysis that he's made? The involvement of the CID in the matter?
I don't have any mind to change.
Oh, no, it's just the CID's involvement.
No, I have said, my brother is talking about potential criminality. And that's where he thinks that the CID will step in. But I have just referred you to 218 of the Constitution.
Oh, but we know that there are times that multiple bodies will be investigating a particular matter.
I knowing the CID I know the CID who have seen them work on several other issues. There's no public confidence in them. I would choose the
on what basis? Let me come back again. On what basis do you say that, though? On what have you had a specific? Vincent, please let me handle this. Have you had an issue that they haven't dealt with, properly or something like that? Because you're making this allegation.
One issue comes to mind now, and I would seek your opinion on that. You remember the bribery allegation that was leveled against Pius Haji, that the CID said they were investigating, and we're told that
Pius Hajide?
Hajide, yes, the former deputy minister for
I think at the time he was sports.
Yes. Have you seen that report that cleared him up to now? Was it not the CID that handled that matter? How can you trust them they will do justice to this same issue?
Okay, so based on
I'm just giving you an example.
No, I'm not arguing with you. I just want to
but they have so much confidence in the CID during their tenure.
That report was not made.
I'm just giving you one example why I have no confidence in the CID.
All right.
But why are they running from charge? Why is government running away from charge? Why are you not comfortable with charge?
Do you understand the mandate?
Why are you not comfortable with charge?
Do you understand the mandate of charge? No, hold on. Let me educate you.
Educate me.
Let me educate you. Charge. No, hold on. For charge. But let me finish.
So you cannot do a simple reading and understanding of Article 218E.
But do you know how charge works? Do you know how charge works?
When you cannot read.
Charge cannot sit in his office. No, you see, he doesn't understand these things. He's a former member of parliament.
Which is written in English.
Charge cannot in his own motion.
Petition.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But in his own motion, cannot sit down and say that I'm going to investigate any matter.
Be humble enough.
Hold on.
Be humble enough to apologize.
Hold on.
I mentioned it here that you have been petitioned by ASEPA, and you even mentioned it.
You won't let me finish.
And say you want to educate me. A simple 218.
Okay.
You can't comprehend.
Okay. Let's hear. What point did you want to make?
The point that I want to make is that Shraj, unless petitioned to deal with issues of fundamental rights.
Haven't they been petitioned?
Oh, can I finish?
Haven't they been petitioned?
Please let him land. Thank you.
Unless petitioned to deal with fundamental human rights breaches and also issues of corruption, Shraj cannot sit in his own office and decide to investigate
some of these matters. I guess the CJ could have petitioned Shraj then.
Absolutely, but I'm also saying that you cannot blame government, as you said, you cannot blame government that government is not having any confidence in Shraj. Because
who has blamed government
you just blame government here.
No, but he didn't say government does not have confidence in Shraj.
What did he say?
I don't remember exactly what, but I said I have no confidence in the CID. I didn't hear him say government does not have confidence in Shraj.
No, he said that government is not having any confidence in Shraj, and for that matter.
Did you say that, sir? Because I don't remember.
I ask you why you are running away from Shraj.
Okay.
Why are you running away from Shraj? Who is running away from Shraj? That's the point. Who is running away from Shraj? For Shraj mandate to be triggered.
But how is government even involved?
Hold on.
How is government even involved?
You don't understand what I'm saying. But when you say that, I haven't heard government specifically. So why do you ask the question? Why is government running away from Shraj?
The question I ask is, why are you running away?
Who is running away from Shraj? Who
on this table?
Who?
You see to be more.
Okay, so this is more directed.
But I'm just saying that for Shraj work to be triggered, it is only a citizen of Ghana or a body corporate. Now we have a body corporate like ASEPA who have petitioned Shraj. Shraj is having a mandate.
Parliament has also been petitioned.
Absolutely. It is within the mandate of Parliament to also investigate matters like this.
What do you think about the multiple, so there's Parliament, there's Shraj, there's CID, and then there's the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council.
It's the doing of our constitution. But it is not wrong for the Chief Justice to petition the General Legal Council, and the General Legal Council also forwarding such a petition to the CID, because the Chief Justice, in his believes that there is a prospective criminal matter that will have to be dealt with in case that there is any establishment of the allegations.
Just a quick one on that also.
We are talking about a bribery allegation of $5 million. Mama V, $1 is about 6 cities now. That will give you about 30 million Ghana cedis.
Is that the quantum for you?
In fact, the principle, the act itself, is bad enough. And the amount involved too is huge enough for us to engage in these NDC, MPP, pedestrian arguments. We can't do that. We are saying that let the man subject himself to proceedings at church. If he's cleared, he's cleared. That's all that we are saying. No.
Okay.
Really? We are not saying that the man
said he's not going to
no, we're not saying that.
But I have one more thing to ask before we go. What does the fact that we're talking about this, if you check the newspapers, it's on almost all the front page of the major newspapers. The fact that the CJ is at the center of something like this, which I must say hasn't been proven, but just the fact that there's an allegation running around. What does it say about the judiciary?
See, I remember Ghana in the Eyes of God by Anas Arimeyao, right? Clearly, when you watch the episodes of the video, and even from real life story, there are times that legal luminaries or lawyers tries to take advantage of their client to say that, oh, we can go and see the judge and do some co-meaning here and there, bring this amount of money. For all you know, there are times that probably they go and see a judge because Ghana in the Eyes of God has made us know that, yes, indeed, there are some bribes that have been exchanging hands here and there. But there are also instances whereby lawyers take advantage of their client. And if you listen to Ojiadom, he said that out of naivety and out of the fact that he wanted his case to be won, he had to pay this
You seem
money.
to be believing everything that he has said.
No, I'm not.
But doubting the other side.
I'm not doubting any other side.
Okay.
I'm just saying that both of them, as given the allegations, have already said that the Chief Justice is not having anything to do with it. So the point I'm trying to make is that the judiciary over the period have had cause to deal with issues that have been tainting their images or putting their image in batters. This is the time, or this is one of the opportunities for the judiciary to be able to redeem itself from some of these allegations that we've been hearing.
30 seconds,
I'm charging the CID and the STRAT to be able to do a very good job in that.
Just the image.
Yes, it may be true that some lawyers could be taking advantage of their clients. It is also true, and we have seen documentary evidence to that, where judges have been seen taking bribes of all kinds, including goods and yam. And so for such an allegation to be made against the CJ, we can't just sweep it under the carpet. We want to see that matter investigated properly, and we'll come to a firm conclusion whether he was involved in that allegation or not.
Okay.
He's the Chief Justice of this Republic. He's the head of the judiciary. He must be interested in clearing his name. And I have told you that.
Yes.
And I've just given you an example why I don't have any confidence in the CID.
Thank you very much. Well stated. Gentlemen, thank you. It's been tough controlling you guys sometimes.
I know.
But I think
especially when the was involved,
so why did you guys take off your mask when you were in the heat of the...
I had my mask on.
Yes, and then you...
He didn't have his mask on, and so he was more audible than me.
You wanted to be in the elements of propaganda.
So I had to also take the mask off.
Have to be off.
Okay.
After all.
Next time, we're not taking it off, no matter what. Thank you very much for your time here on the show. Thanks for joining us on AM Talk. There's more conversations ahead. Stay with us. You will be careful, be careful.
We now move our attention to Ajin Kotoku. About a fortnight ago, the onion sellers were relocated from Agbogbloshie to Ajin Kotoku. We've been checking on the progress of work there in that enclave. My colleague, Manuel Karanting, was on that beat, and he brings us the scoop.
After 16 years of frantic efforts to relocate traders at Agbogbloshie, comprising mainly of onion sellers, livestock rearers, and scrap dealers, to Ajin Kotoku, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte, together with the Regional Coordinating Council, have been successful at making this dream a reality. 2 weeks after the relocation exercise, we're back here gauging the mood of the traders and assessing how they are settling in. Alhaji Mazawudu is the chairman of the Onion Sellers Association.
Agbogbloshie, that's the main market in Ghana. His onion market in Ghana is Agbogbloshie. So right now, so far as has been relocated to Ajin Kotoku, then Ajin Kotoku will be the greatest market in Ghana.
The biggest onion market.
The biggest onion market in Ghana will be at Ajin Kotoku.
I see. So we'll just go through here. So these are what's going to happen to these ones? Are they going to be bought in wholesale, or what's going to happen?
Right now, as I told you, that they are all squatters here. And this one are from Nigeria. This one are from Niger. You see? So all of them here is a parking place.
It's supposed to be a parking lot.
Supposed to be a parking place for big trucks like these ones. They will come two.
So these big trucks, right?
Yes, will be coming here and then here, so that if you convey the goods, you send it here and then there.
I heard some of your people shouting Agbogboshi is good. The place will be good, eh?
Good.
Be good, pa.
Good, pa.
How the things they go? You do there almost 2 weeks. How the things they go?
Oh, it'll go well for us.
It'll go well, and you sell the things.
Yeah, we sell things.
So if I go, if I make I take one bag of the onion go.
Okay, you don't get problem.
I don't get problem.
You don't get problem.
We are seeing a lot of them expressing excitement and satisfaction with the space that has been provided for them by the Regional Coordinating Council, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, of course, led by the Regional Minister Henry Korte. Well, we've heard of issues, just a few of them, but as you've heard in the interaction I've been having with the chairman of the Onion Sellers Association, Mr. Masawudu, and indeed a lot more of the other onion sellers themselves, the drivers, and so on. This is generally a good place, in fact, a better place for them. Madam,
Yefi Adenta.
Adenta ton, Madina X-ray.
Bachai.
And more better, no more so ton.
Bacho you.
Okay. I'm about Hannah to say.
Oh, eh.
Hello.
Eh.
And money upon. Yet, I
know what to do. I will go see better how what to do.
How do you feel? Be any happy? As a chucha baby, my baby, they move nice.
Mom, so yeah, they a lot of fun. A doors my end.
You know, baby, more what I find to know. Over to Jane in the man.
Was it?
More the lawyer friend, the best Jane in the man.
And they say the best shame. What am I say? Yeah, the best shame. Okay, we say you to be my 5 Jane. 5 near and Concord and 4 million. So what am I say? Yeah, what will she need a lot of fun in also to say, I so quite a what?
More the sea about so much.
The sabo so much.
So she's just telling me that they're coming all the way from Adenta, and they came to buy the onions from here, and they're going to sell. She complains about the distance from where they sell to this place. Makes a comparison between how much they have to pay now as cost of carriage and how much they used to pay before as cost of carriage. But as you know, for the vendor, almost always transfer the cost to the consumer, and so that's what she's been saying. My boss, Bemeka crying. Also better Jane in Biana.
Me better Jane me Africanation.
No Africanation now better Jane no han. Okay, also cotton Jane no.
Me cotton Jane me amana e go on.
We Jane we dey said also.
Me timi to 30 bag. 30 bag, yeah.
And since bag here say.
It's almost on 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5.
5.5 and Galmino. But Nigeria near 5 million.
Oh, I see.
2 trap of onions Waka.
All right, I see. And you know, mobile hand to say.
I have fine, beautiful. Oh, baby, I know the problem.
I will blue you on a moment.
Well, says a ball and a horn. Uncle for sheep or a coy. We are suffer. But it's a blessing coming here. It's a blessing. But one thing, road from Africa, so Bahano, quite a problem. But I'm fracra simple mom. One
Ufi Kaswa side, no say road no A2, Bakufi and some road no so eba, and a Bakufi Echire on Kaswa side.
Problem putus. What I say? Putus never on. Until what time what the motor so could obre. Wow, what the motor so could Uchiro. Anka Mikawa ha, Anka Minu Ako, now Cochester the road in the it's bad.
So you want them to fix it?
The leaders prepare the road for us.
Okay. It will be better for you like that.
Better for us.
Okay, so he makes a point.
There is no problem for you.
Okay, so he makes a point that moving from the Kaswa end to the Ajenkutoku market is a problem because of the state of the road, and as we've already heard. Amos, I feel like you want to talk something. What you want to talk?
Me, Assembly no me to makan. Ye problem me ha say ye kwan ni. Enu kwan ye problem no, but ha ne de wallahi ye ni maji pa. Ye papa anka ye nim say na hati anka ye ba ha dada.
Come ba dada.
Ba ye wa ha no obi amba ha no ka say wanya sika obekokodi.
Oh really?
I'm pan me catch until that's a problem in your coin.
Oh, you like this place?
I like this place more than the place where I'm coming here.
I see. So your only problem is the road?
My problem is in the road. Okay.
But in the meantime,
I'm
Abazu Mekete. About one life, Kena. Baba, Zo. You said the place be good, eh?
Oh, Charlie, leader, for my own opinion, dear. This place is good. This place is good.
But you make busy.
But we need some small space because you can see our cars. We don't have places to park them. Even the Kias that will come in, we will put the load inside. There's no place to park them. So if you can get more place to park the cars, we will accept it.
And they tell me say if you know say this place they you come long
time because. The reason why I said this place is good, if I compare it to the other side, because of the rainy season. Because on Saturday the rain started falling since morning, but within 30 minutes, everything all the water go. But if you check the other side, we are the offloaders. You pity us. For that one there, this place is good. But for the space, if you can get us more place to park the trailers or the Kias, we will accept it. As for that one there, the place is too small for us.
I won't come join you, make we offload that thing because
you go fit. You are welcome. Because you can see the way I'm looking right now.
Chama, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to add something on because they are working. We are wasting their time, but we don't have a changing place for them. As you can see, when he's going to change before going home. We don't have there. We have changing places for the executives and the workers and the porters. They don't have their changing place. They don't have a place where to sit down so that they can relax whenever they work finish. All are. That's why I said everything is step by step. So we want to sit down. Later we need this. We need this. We need this.
What's your name?
My name is Abdulaziz Mumuni.
Abdulaziz Mumuni.
Yeah.
I call me sport there. Come with me. So that make a try what? Make a try wear that. I beg you. I beg you. I beg you. Okay. But I beg you. 130 kilos. That's cement bag, Mr. I can't do that. And so that's what you're having. You're having what human wheelbarrows. They are wheeling and cutting away the wheelbarrows, and they are cutting the onions away from here. And so let me just speak to you're a truck driver, or you drove this one?
No, this is my car.
Oh, this is your truck. They are still offloading your truck. Where did you drive from?
From Niger.
From Niger. How long is it from here?
It's long, about 1,000-something kilos.
So how many hours does it take you? How many days? How many days better?
How many days? But definitely, if your car no get problem, it will take about 1 week.
To move from Niger to here?
Yeah.
So you stop on the road?
Yes, but we say the custom border. When you come this Burkina, you will stay there 2 days or 1 day. They will make everything do it for you. Then after that, you come for Burkina. When you finish the Burkina, you come for Ghana. After Ghana, then but he enter now. My car is full. My car, your road.
And road?
Yes.
What's wrong with the road?
It's just this like this.
The road is like this?
Yes. Now go and see. Watch my car.
Go and show me. Go and show me. So he's going to show me what's wrong with his car. He makes a point that the road is terrible. For that reason, he's having issues with his vehicle. And as we've heard a few of the truck drivers already say, the road is not as more trouble. So what's that? What's that?
That's short brick.
Okay, so what's this? What am I seeing?
It's spring.
Okay, that's the spring. The spring is broken.
It's broken.
I see, and it's because of the road.
Because of the road, that place. You just can't go enter here, that place. Enter the distance. So the movement of commanders, I hear say the team will move.
Okay.
So I stop them, come and watch the team.
So this one, how much will it cost to fix?
So I don't know. Unless the fitters come and
watch it.
Watch it after we talk.
Market koso na.
Market no koso.
Koso sa me fan say koso sa. Na I say ade ba kon say e man bebre na hyeden hu ha. Ona yenkofo ni bi so ayaso de binu ma ehun say ha ne wo wan ana ma tito mo de koka so. Ana yesi binu so me mate e wonte yesi binu agosu market mo saje ne bikogu oton ma mba no. E wo se aban no hwe ne won pamu ina ma ina mbre market. Ota se enkoba se aban se mbre na bi mate mo ho. E hye hono mu di sa adwuma na o se o mu ina ba market na mba ni na ba se be ya market beti magin ana me bo munso no ana mo enti se ye ina e baba ba bi fa ko a e be boye ama market na koso ota se ye ni hwe ka aban na nkasa kwan yo fa so de ba na won fa so twa kwan no pamo mu na ina ya mbra ba bi fa ko na mba ni na mbra na market ntim ota se ba bi enye kuro ba bi enye kuro aha no abana ha so be ama ha ye kuro otaje enti ye dana se no on force on ma mo agugos ne sek ho yes admon on pon ina no ina mbamra kata.
And so he says that they're having information that some of the onion sellers, regardless of the order to move from the Agbobloshi market, have failed to move, and they are, as it were, stiltily selling to people at the Agbobloshi market. He's calling on the government to, as it were, get them moved. So this is originally the scene at the market, and as we're told, parking spaces like these are expected to be created for the onion sellers so that they could park their trucks while they offload into the markets. That is still, being done. Mami, how are you, baby Anna? Baby,
Papa, yeah, Kwankasa.
Yeah, Munya Butro.
Yeah, baby, and try a watcher and pa, Momo and why.
Then I see a Munya baby.
Says he has a quine her baby, and I also would be a new year. You to transfer copy say baby, if you're watching nearby, one more wine, a cry. And I'm going to ask a honeymoon at the mom. Oh, I can't Jennifer. I don't know your Jenny. I walk from Bob from near dear Chilaba. See, I'm my dear Chaba, Munya baby. Munya baby, a cry. And say Kahana the Hano Mamma no more tia. Yeah, but ye nim near call, ye never been trying until I say, ye never been some part of my family.
Okay, and so she says that they've not gotten a space just yet to sell. Mommy, when your baby Anna?
Yeah, baby, Aunt tonight.
Oh, I don't know when your baby.
Yeah, baby, yeah, what's on my yard, dear? Dear, show them.
It is the music of what quite to the hall. Let's do it now.
I'm much loading.
Much loading where to the hall. And so she's just also confirming to me that they've not gotten a spot just yet. But across this particular stretch, I see a couple of the women who are gathered there. And in my estimation, I've just been told that they are registering and getting. I want to reach me neighbor.
Me ma be and you or be an abba fe market and now where I will make Billy or Miss Moa wonder I mean I come me ba ye any bay konamita and I mean not bear I will make Billy or wonder and she wa my Billy be an baby Billy 1 hour I be a developer for Bananuchimon watching with Bieni in 1 hour me flow I mean you or make Billy
and I can flow my Billy was she's speaking Ga and speaking to me about the prospects of development for the area. But what I see now is a really low-lying, plain parcel of land. We don't know what exactly that land will be used for. I mean, move here to Nebana.
Almost say a honor. Almost the Hobema, you buy the phone about until mobile. Now,
buy the phone, you don't make say.
I don't back when you say
it's not more baby at now. And I'm when you be a ha. Come on, Kosha. And almost say, I'm the imagine if
by the phone.
By the phone. Into when you be.
Yanebi.
Don't say Monkona Mombra. Anna.
Ammonia, even the grading for one grading way and sin. I might just see
don't be sure say, I'm greedy, I'm when you baby at
baby at
tell us. were the scrap dealers and quite prominently the onion sellers who we've been speaking about in the past couple of minutes. But this, we're told, is being reserved for the yam sellers. And so now they're looking at their spot here. And these are the market women. Ami, am I you?
Yeah.
Be a boko.
You are the more.
Some more had there, someone near Jibubian, baby at Nana.
I told baby, dear, young now, and you won't be my one year, break, common to near Betanaha.
And I then I'm when your baby.
Yeah, baby, I buy a sea in penny for my, and I see a telfius when ye young quale bedidi. Young Casasu bedidi, into Moaba, Monhuya, Mobo, Monfan company for any no Monhuya, Mobo. Nay, break.
So she is also saying that they've not gotten a spot, and you can see them sitting down quite helplessly. I mean, also when your baby.
Pacho minya baby ayo. Ma nanti sa na me or come the maintain on my better baby atonade.
Ain't no what enough from what bre.
My bre, de bia me bam nasi na me.
The 1st July no buy no.
Ma nanti sa minyeska kranto dianindi.
And then I won't catch them.
Ya buy a see and championing for ya buy a see and championing for ya who penny bia so a hanmo, ye change ya bre. Titiano.
Tiano, Mamotiano, wedding.
Auntie, yes, ramping for my baby, and your baby, and the dinner and Bawan, and by your scooty.
Moka, a Jennifer no Hana.
Yanka Jennifer, almost some of my baby in Tawade. Into a baby, I bet Tawade when your baby.
Say a Jennifer movie or my then I'm back home.
May Mamma Damatia, no more Jimmy Sika. Some by my apatas and I atana, you and the Jennifer Betan, we mean never been to Antona, then I'm a better night.
Be you sick as a more baby atana.
Answer for Jimmy Sika. Some by my baby atana, patanas, and
what you say?
I'm with you 10 million.
1,000.
Pachai.
Our receipt.
Pachai.
See to know a crowd.
Pacha Debbie, Makita Sama Bremejato.
We get our receipt in a son.
I better Mejato fee.
Money na sana sorry.
I want Jimmy Sika. And so me baby Ashaja. O ma bubu e yo honti nya baby nshaja ye brewa ha. E manu woko school SS. Otokuma ya mba ye nya baby.
Monka bobloshi for no.
Enso
monka bobloshi for no.
Da bi o ye wa ha. Enso ye to ande ogbogboshi ye ba. Ye ko ho eba. Ye ko ho ba ye ko ba. Ye okotoku so edijo ogbogboshi ba. Nti enyi na ye ogbogboshi for. Why?
It's a way no ka mo amotete around hanom and anka mo pe baby atena. And she say munya baby.
Nya baby. Enso so ntumi ko gbogboshi ni to ande bi onse ho telephone ye fafa na ye so to ande.
Adam na auto den.
Pacho me to mbayire.
What on bayere?
Pacha.
Tika o pe baby wa ha.
Me pache.
What can den na kire o?
Waka wo want me 50 Ghana. Na wo say wo be ma me baby.
What je o 50 Ghana no ma receipt?
Pacho receipt no wo say wo ko fa bre me. To wo fa mai.
When je o sika but one ma receipt.
Me pacha wo ma me receipt ye.
Okay. And also wo be ma baby wo hodom.
Wo say wo be ma me baby wo hodom. Eti me ton bayire me yo kura ni eti mani abre mombo ayen. Na yan so ye nya sika ye.
Munya na mo tonton no. Sisi amunya baby nton no. Nyama no we he.
Pacho ni ama ne yanko fa ye.
Mo twen anya baby na nka mo akofa.
Pacha ye twen na ye anya baby. Na ye akwakofa ne ma na ba nti ye sra ban na ombo ayen. Ombo ayen.
And so we'll just move out and then get you a wide shot of the crowd really of women who have gathered here at the Ajin Kotoku market. All of these women are looking for spots to sell.
And that was my colleague Manor Kranting with that roving report as far as the traders who have been moved to Ajin Kotoku are concerned. But from there, we bring you Showbiz with Ibrahim, and that is up next. Do stay.
You're welcome back from the breather. Let's get some entertainment done. So she is the MP for K2 South, and she was the Deputy Minister for our sector. And when I'm talking about our sector, I'm talking about the tourism, creative art, and culture. Well, she was on the show Showbiz A to Z with George Quay, and she made a statement that we as creatives cannot make decent living here in Ghana. As to what she meant by it, she gives more explanation. I'm talking about Abla Jifa Gomashi.
I'm more a theater. Yeah, I love stage more than being in front of the camera. And then when I discovered my passion for watching children interpret and bring to life roles, I shifted to, I was producing by the far side.
Yes.
Yeah, so that took away my, I rediscovered myself and my passion in watching the children bring life to a role. Then I couldn't find myself doing it again. That joy was just so satisfying and so fulfilling. I kind of like stepped aside. And stage also had lost its verve. Plus, let's admit, our sector we can't live on what we get from that. We can't be quiet. Because we can't make a decent living. And I'm putting this in quotes, right? Because some... yeah. Listen, somebody can live on a 2,000 cedi salary, another cannot live on a 5,000 cedi salary. I've earned my stripes. Do you understand?
Sure.
I've earned my stripes.
Sure.
So if I'm going to go on stage or in front of a camera, I should be able to determine how much you're going to pay me.
Very true.
And I always had a problem with people.
Yeah.
Because they bring the script and I question the script.
Yeah.
If I'm going to play the role, the fact that you wrote it, the fact that you are producing, the fact that you are directing does not mean I cannot have an opinion.
Yes.
And I always have an opinion. Yeah. And I like my opinion to be heard. You don't have to agree, though, and you don't have to accept it. But at least hear me out. And so there's always this tangle in this jungle, and I couldn't handle it anymore. And I thought, okay, let it go and find something else to do. I took...
Well, that was her, and that was the explanation she gave to creatives in this country not being able to make a decent living. Now let's look at our identity. I mean, shifting from theater and whether we can make a good, decent living or not to check our identity. Do Ghanaians have an identity? Yes, some people believe that we do. But when it comes to music, that is where the conversation is. So, highlight musician Dada Hafko on Daybreak Hits with Andy Dusty on Hits 103.9, which is the morning show, is reiterating that if we cannot champion a cause, one single cause that will benefit us as a country when it comes to music, then we are really lost. He believes that high life is in our DNA, so high life should be that cause.
Look, everybody in this country who creates has a bit of high life in there. Whether the person is a rapper, whether the person is a dancehall artist or what, because that is in our DNA. Andy, every Ghanaian, your DNA, because look, when you even go to Abrochie, those kids who have lived there and having come to Ghana before and all of that, when you go and they are listening to Ghanaian high life songs, they sing along. You know why? Because they grew up with it. You know, that is what they grew up with. So everybody in Ghana has the high life DNA in them. It is important for us to champion a cause, a single cause that will benefit us as a country and also in the bigger picture benefit us, going forward. Because when you go somewhere and you are asked, what is the identity of Ghanaian music? It's a big question for anybody. You can't say it. You can't say. You are now going to explain yourself. Oh, some do high life, others do dancehall, some do hip hop. Others, no, you don't need that. An identity of your music must be one.
Well, with that, why must you go on that tangent of explaining that, oh, some do this, some do that?
Because you are not sure
what is that one thing we do? Because when you go to Jamaica, we all know they do reggae. But in Jamaica, not all musicians in Jamaica do reggae. Now, you find Jamaicans rapping, you find Jamaicans doing Afro pop, some doing Afrobeat.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So you have even said it better. When you go to every country, they do stuff. People do a lot of stuff. When you go to South Africa, you think they do not do. South Africa, they have one of the biggest hip-hop community in Africa. But Kwaito leads because that. Have you realized that even when you are talking to a South African, they oftenly chip in their local languages, even when they are speaking English? I don't know if you've noticed that. Even when you watch their movies and things like that, because the identity must be there. Identity, no, without that, no, why you the people in the world, no, we are in groups. The group represents a country moving. So every group, you need to be able to identify yourself with something to differentiate you and the others.
So is this just supporting what Shatawale gave as the State of the Industry address? Well, he is saying that we should just champion one cause as a music, for music as a country. You could do your high life, you could do your rap, you could do your dancehall, but let's make high life the genre here in Ghana. Well, let's move away from high life and listen to what rapper Amarado is saying. Well, Amarado, with the current, hula balloon about the Ejira, what is going on there, has said that it is better to have a peaceful demonstration than to have a coup.
Okay, so specifically with the dry incident, I believe peaceful demonstration is better than a coup. So if the people are demonstrating and voicing out, we should allow them. We shouldn't kill them, we shouldn't attack them, because at the end of the day, they lead to serve us. So what's the point of we not being able to voice out and speak out? So I'm not really happy with what's going on, but I think our leaders can do better. You know, it's about time we have to stand for ourselves, and maybe we have to just come out the NDC and MPP, then maybe pick some different kind of people to lead the country. Because when a party comes in power, what they do is not what they say. Now you can just vote against them and bring another set of political party, and they are going to repeat it. You see, we've been traveling. We see how industrious some other countries are, but Ghana is still lacking the petty stuff. That's good healthcare, roads, and quality water and stuff. So I think the people can do it, and I'm not really happy what's going on in the country.
And that will be all for Showbiz on the AM show. The name is Ibrahim Ben Bako. Ben Akapo will join you